Howdy everyone, welcome to the stream. Hope y'all doing alright. Today we're going to be drawing some decorations. So I've been working on the town a bit, as some of you know. And I've been decorating this area too, which we'll get into in just a second. And so we want to expand the town a bit and make some pretty decorations. We did interiors last time, I think, and I want to do maybe some more external objects like benches and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what we've been working on. I'm going to show you right quick. I have been working on a lot of combat polish this week. Lots and lots of polish. I'm more into the polish phase right now. And now that we've got this bit of this is temporary little placeholder class selection here, but we can do there. And this will be the starting area. And so, yeah, right after, I'll also change the dirt bit. But you'll see right here, just a lot more polish. You'll probably even hear some stuff. Sound effects, some of them are old. I've done some new ones, but been working with some effects here. Just overall polish in general. Some sounds. So yeah. There's some other stuff I'll show in a second, like with the magic and ranger stuff. But yeah. So now I've been tweaking a bit with like more depth, adding depth to stuff. Howdy everyone. Especially with the ranger, I'm still working on this a bit, but the arrows have a bit more weight to them. The yeah. Wow. Looking great. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's hard to remember everything I've done because pretty much this week has been a lot of just overall tweaks in general. And and with the mage, I found their combat to be less than exciting. So instead of making it like everything else, it's going to be more based on, like, the one's going to be more based on effects and stuff. So we have the on fire kind of thing. Probably going to do like a lightning wand kind of thing. And then I've been working on the fireball stuff. And then, oh, also the mana bar is new. As you can see, we have a mana bar on the top left, and it used to, like, it was one bar and it would fill up, and then mana had like an arbitrary cost. It's very difficult to understand like how much mana you had, how much you could cast, and I can tell you from that right there, I can cast one fireball. I can't cast Summon Skelly right now because it takes 2 bars, but if I come up here, like if I try to cast it, nothing happens. There's no feedback yet. But if I get up 2 mana bars, then I can now cast Summon Skelly, and I've got my own Skelly. And you can see it took exactly 2 bars. So I've been working on that a bit, just for overall polish stuff. The game is perfect. Well, thank you. Not taking notes. No. And speaking of notes, I've been doing some testing as well. So we've started the testing phase. the feedback has been really good so far, so I'm really happy about that. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. But, as you can see, the town was looking bland over there. I haven't decorated this area, but you can get the feel for what I'm going, like, that's what we're doing today. It's working on these decorations. We got this over here. Still got to figure out what I want to do with that. And then, yeah. So that's what we're doing. Let me pull this up so we can get something to look at. And sort of, because I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. But I do know I want to get some pretty stuff going. Because it looks extremely bland. Oh. If I open this up. So yeah, that's what we're going to discuss here. Now, that pixel effect. Yeah, in the test, I just did a test with Lucy. She said it looked like being electrocuted. And so we might save it for that. I'll have to get some more people to test it. I'm going to play this game. It looks so cool. It should be out soon in the demo wise. The demo is expected at the end of March next month. So very soon, hopefully I'll be able to play it. So what decorations do y'all think we should make? We don't have too much right now. Some that I want to change, like for example, I don't have it. Yeah, here it is. I have a torch. I think I want to go with more of a lantern thing. I may not use the torch too much. It was just for that devlog. So I think I'm gonna grab a piece of grab a card up here so I can take notes on what I want to do. I think a pile of leaves would be really cool, especially with the forest thing. That's a very cool idea. I don't know that I'll do it here. I am just the worst with leaves and nature and all that fun stuff. But it might be something I try on the decor. By the way, speaking of decoration, flowers and stuff, we have some of that. I've been placing a little bit up here. So as you can see, I've got like a flower. I got a little twig, some little rocks and stuff. We'll probably do some of that. But yeah, I've been working on some flowers and decorative stuff. There's more of it over here, just to sort of make things look pretty. Tall grass. I really want to do tall grass. I really want. We might try. I've tried to do tall grass for like 3 or 4 times now, and so I really want to do tall grass. We'll see. So tall grass, and I want to do benches, lanterns, and a leaf pile. Maybe a statue or idol of some kind. I don't know that I want to do statues. This is more of a. It's meant to be more of a primitive setting, and they could have had statues, but like that feels more modern to me. So I don't know. A board, like a little town board, like a little. I don't know what you call it, like a billboard kind of thing. Is this an art stream or a world design one? This is gonna be an art stream. We're just looking. I'm looking at the world right now to see what's missing and what we could use to improve it. I was about to say, yeah, it's the lanterns. Now, the lantern design could be interesting. Like, I'm thinking kind of like a magical lantern. Like, have it look like an old lantern, but be lit magically. I think that would be cool. A well. We have a well. Let me look for that right quick. There are some things I have done on the Discord streams. I just need to pull those up right quick, and y'all can get a feel for what we already have. Not that one. This might take me a second. I've got way too many of these. Some of these are really old. There's some of the interior stuff we did. I want to try and work with some crystals today, because crystals are magical. There's probably going to be a heavy crystal theme, maybe. We're going to keep pulling these up until we find something. It's probably in the other folder. There we go. So yeah, we worked on a well on the stream. It's a bit wonky, but you know that we did an anvil, and that anvil is massive. If we look at characters. I drew the anvil, and then I was like, well, that's just way too big. Let's see. Just little things that signify that the villagers have lived in. Like an axe in the stump is a good one. And some fences. Like we have, we said a stone wall. I have a wooden fence. We could do a stone one as well. You can see the wooden fence here. The axe and the stump is really good, especially around Lofo's house. So I think we'll do that one a day probably. Axe. We need to draw some stumps. So stumps is one as well. Maybe they made a shrine for holding monsters at bay at times. A few of the monsters get through. We could work that in there. Plants. We need to add plants. Probably not on this stream. It takes me forever. Absolutely forever to draw plants. We might sketch a few out, but we'll see. It's mostly a... classic signpost. Yes, signpost. And even just posts in general, so that like for reading purposes. So, signpost and message posts. Okay. So, what area... Let's look at an area right now that would really need some decorations. So this is the inn. The inn would really need some decorations. That's going to be it's supposed to be a stable. I might fill that in for the demo. And then I kind of want to decorate up in here. So I need to think of some stuff. This is supposed to be a town center. I'm probably going to extend it up here a bit. Maybe push Teddy's house over. And then there's Teddy's house right there. We did some work on Teddy's house. Let me find it right quick. If I pulled it up, I don't think I did. I know where it is though. Boop, boop. So yeah, we did some work in Teddy's house already. We just haven't put the stuff in the game. I love the bone and the ball with truffles. Okay. Just trying to get a feel for what we're doing here. Let me close out a bunch of these. I just closed out the one I needed, didn't I? Nah. We might do a new screenshot because I want to get that area. So let's see. Let's go up here. We're gonna decorate this area. Let me just grab a screenshot. Oh, stone carvings with secret message. I don't want to get into big secrets right now. Because this is for the demo, and if I start doing a secrets, people are going to wonder what that is, and I don't have time to figure out what that is. So nothing too secretive, other than what I already have planned. So this should be 13.33. No, it is not. Surely not 50, possibly. There we go. Okay. So this is the area I want to decorate, mostly. So I'm thinking a bench. Just absolutely a lantern. We'll probably get into that. And we'll start with that. That's the main stuff I want. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. How is the game called? The game called Zoe and the Cursed Dreamer. Make wall jump. Sorry, no speak English. Actually... let me show y'all right quick. So another thing I worked on, I don't know that it'll be in the game. It's just probably almost certainly won't be in the demo. But I did play around with the thing. I concepted it out in case I wanted it. I just have to find it. There. And yeah, that should be fine. I need a certain area to jump off of though, which is in the testing area. Now, like I said, absolutely not certain. Like, I'm just showing y'all because it's cool. So, do not expect to see this, but it is, but you know, I did make a little thing where you can jump off and jump down. There too, up here. That one's a little not as good. The tween's a little different. So yeah, I have the functionality. The big trouble is the pathfinding for pets and stuff. Like, that's a whole hassle I don't have time to get into. So, yeah. It's cool, but it's probably not going to be in there. Was it hard to do? It wasn't hard once I had the certain things. Like, I'm working on some pseudo 3D, like 2.5D. And, So it wasn't bad. It was just some collision checking and some twinning and some bit masking and stuff. It wasn't too bad. Passive animals that react to you, like birds flying away when you go near them. We already did that in a stream. This one. We designed a few things. It even animated the bird on a Discord stream, which I won't pull up for now, but yeah, at least something you see in the demo. Do you use Construct 3? No, I use Godot. Add a pile of scrap. We'll probably do some kind of wood stuff. For now. You roasted him hard. What did you roast him for? Do you have spells and stuff? I do have spells. Currently I have a fireball spell. I have a summon skelly spell. I'll show that right quick. Now the game is heavily about magic. So like it's gonna feature it pretty good. The fire spell, like the effect, it's meh right now. Well, crap. But yeah, I have probably not. Oh, and by the way, the weapon's hiding. I'm playing around with hiding the weapon when you're not in combat, so I just have done that. I have fireball, which does an AoE damage, and it does bigger damage. Like it does more damage than a regular attack. And if I get up 2 mana bars, then I can summon a skeleton that fights for me. So yeah, lots of magic. Well, not yet, but game's going to feature magic pretty prominently. Like, almost every class is probably going to have some kind of influence from magic into it. You could put a bookcase in that house where you unlock or upgrade just to upgrade the spell. Personally don't like the angle offset of the wand. What do you mean? Could put where you unlock or upgrade just to equip the spell. Like that's how you learn spells. We could do something like that. I don't know about in a house, but I'm not sure how you're going to get spells just yet. Right now, it's ability based. Like so, the idea is that you'll gain levels as you gain. Like you can, as you level up, you'll be able to pick stuff. I would like for there to be the option to earn that kind of thing. I don't know that I like this wood color though. But yeah, I might go. If we look into the interior, we'll close that. That's a really old one. I want to look at this one. Maybe Teddy's home. It's got more cool stuff in it. Prettier to look at. I might switch trees over to these colors probably, because I'm not too keen on that wood there. So let's see. Close that. Close all of this. Boop. Okay. And then we'll get started. And we're gonna try it out. We'll see what this looks like. Probably better fit for that. And then yeah. Don't like the chest there. We'll start with that. That looks fine for starting with. It's brighter. It was really looking very dull, very desaturated, I guess, and wasn't looking interesting at all. Oops, I need another layer. Okay, new layer. Make the things on the front of the doors written "God bless this house," that sort of thing. That's a lot of pixels for. It's a lot of pixels for a small area, and religion is a little bit differently in this game. This is not. It works a little differently. That might be something you would find on a fanatic's house, like an odd fanatic. Like not in a good way. Which we could do later on. Do you imagine having a bull that can hit trees and other things? A bull specifically? Like, I don't know, like, about a bull. I don't see the reason for it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Trunks are difficult, and we're probably going to reuse this trunk for one, because it's kind of a cool thing. Like to reuse assets like that. So we'll quick look into that. And so also just sort of get a feel for the look that we want for the other ones. We'll make some more too, because I do want several stumps to sort of throw around, and we could probably reuse these in trees and stuff. Maybe go rabbit hole next to the bottom of a tree. That might be hard to get across what that is. Like, people might see that and go and not understand it as to be a rabbit hole. A snow biome. Snow biome is not something we're going to do. Like, I'd maybe have a snow biome, but like, it's not something that we're going to see anytime soon, because this is more for demo stuff, and doing a snow biome would require me to do an entire new set of assets. Like, I'd have to do a snowy tree, just everything, and I don't have time. Like, I'm very short for time right now, demo wise, because the demo is going to be out hopefully at the end of March. Oh, this is terrible. I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to have big good. I tell you what I should do. I'm better at drawing trunks if I don't start with a teeny tiny little stump. If we go and pretend like we're drawing a tree, perhaps I can do a better stump. Do you plan on having a main story or just different quest lines and just a free roam grand? It's going to have a main story. It's probably going to have a lot of side stuff too. Like, the main story is not the main reason you play the game. Sort of Skyrim-esque in that way. Hopefully, is my goal. Is sort of like you can just run around doing what you want. But like I'm all like Skyrim, like not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls stories tend to be very bland in my experience, and that's something I want to avoid. I want to have an interesting story, but I don't want the game to play just to be the story. This game is more about the environment, the world building, the lore, and the freedom, like the class, the different play styles that you can play, that kind of thing. And so I want to try to capture that. And I think it'd be good to do it in like a free roam type game. Not free roam exactly, like it's still going to have like a progression world. Like, imagine, ideally, I haven't planned out the world to that extent, but like sort of like Legend of Zelda, how like things, you progress through the world in a particular way. Like, you can't just pick up and go explore that main dungeon and then, you know, you get what I'm saying. Maybe make it so you can tame animals you find. There's already a pet taming mechanic. It's already implemented. It would be cool if there was a chance for a tree to become alive and attack you. Just maybe be an ally. The trouble with that is I notoriously, in fact, I should not have started the stream like this. I notoriously cannot draw trees. As you will find here. That's not too bad. I cannot draw trees, and animating a tree would be even worse. So that's something I ideally want to avoid. Plants that are interactive, maybe even hostile. Same thing for plants, although there's probably going to be some plant stuff, like the sprout's sort of plant-based. He came out alright. But yeah. I don't know if... I know I meant to make this like a tree and then I was going to cut it off, but I kind of like the idea of like a hollowed tree or whatever. Hollowed chunk. Yeah. I think that's cool. We could do both. We can always change this around. Thanks for existing. Thanks for witnessing my existence. Dead tree? Yeah, like a dead tree. I mean, not like... Or are you suggesting a dead tree? We could do a dead tree. That might be even harder, because it's tree silhouettes that I have a hard time with. And the leaves. Speaking... Well, no, I didn't. I tried to... redo the leaf parallax. I'll show you. Here, I tried to do one that was a little more, but I don't know. I find that this looks better. So I wasted about half of my day yesterday trying that, and it's just meh. A little aquarium in the house. Aquariums feel very modern. Like, this is a very, very primitive setting. Destructible bearables. Terrible. I do want to do that. I don't know that we need it for the demo. Maybe. Because, well, the way the demo plays out, I don't know that you'll come across any destructible burrows. Like, you would expect to see that in a dungeon. And the dungeon that you're going to get is the mushroom cave. And I don't know, like, if I want it to seem lived in or not yet. Like, have like, we talked about this when we was drawing stuff for it. Like, decorating and adding that kind of thing would make it look like people have been here. And it maybe we will, because I'm kind of swinging towards mines with it, like crystal mines. We talked about crystals earlier, and me wanting to do crystal stuff. I'm leaning towards crystal mine, but yeah. Teddy is a cook. Teddy is a butcher that likes to bake, but he doesn't want people to know about it. He does so secretly. An enemy that ambushes you from bushes or trees. I have one that I want to do. If you can see, when I've been doing this stuff, I have like a cliff. And I want to have like maybe a skelly that stands on the cliff and then hops down when you get near it. Like an ambush type thing. Maybe have bushes up there and now he jumps down. I think that would be cool. I would really like to have an enemy that jumps off of a cliff. So, a bird that is flying around and there would be a small chance that he would drop something. These are all just suggestions. A lot more than usual. Does Teddy have a cookie jar for all the infinite cookie he's given? Now, the thousands cookie thing is not actually in the game. That was a joke. I tend to forget that people take the devlogs very seriously. A lot of the devlog stuff is joke. And there's a sack attack, by the way. We was prototyping a new enemy. That tree looks terrible. I'm going to move on. No. We was prototyping an enemy last night. The hot potato enemy that throws around a ball. So that's what that was. That's terrible. Best game ever and made in 6 months. Well, it's not made. It is 6 months in progress, and it's probably going to take years for me to make. Let's see. Why hot potato enemy? Well, it's just the idea, the mechanic for it. The idea being that, let me pull them up right quick if they're not broken. We also tweaked the movement and last night during the Discord stream. Oh. Nope. These guys right here. The idea being that they sort of wander around, throwing a ball around each other, and like you try to take them out and stuff while they're throwing the ball. And sometimes they'll throw it to you, but that's the idea. It's like there's a projectile going around between them that they're throwing around. So, so we worked on. They were moving faster. We were working on a lot of that last night. So yeah, so we had this bumped up. Got him. I don't know. They're in a pursuit state for some reason. Oh wait, no, I know why. Apparently I had this on last night and didn't even think a thing about it. There you go. Oops. So the idea is that they sort of run around throwing the ball around each other. So yeah, that's what that thing was. The menu is beautiful, thank you. I'm still working on the logo and the text and stuff. It's all placeholder mostly. I I really like the idea of what we're doing with the title. We're gonna move on from that. The idea being that there are some events that happen in the background. Let me pull it up again. So yeah, you can see there's a skelly back here. The idea being that little events will happen, like maybe a bird flies down and lands, and the skelly spots and chases after it. Maybe there's a squad of skellies running up the path here, that kind of thing. You know, maybe the Cthulhu mole does something. Very interesting possibilities that we're going to explore. Don't know how much for the demo, but that's the general idea. I think it's cool. And do you want enemies being the same but a remodel and different stats to reuse code? Not really. Like when I was testing earlier, one of the things Lucy said is that the selling point for this game, from her testing experience, was that the enemies are very interesting. And so I kind of want to lean into that. I don't want to just reskin stuff. The enemy behaviors and stuff like that is very interesting. So if I can continue making interesting behaviors, then I would really like to do that. Make shadow enemies that only stay in shade. That's a really cool idea. Now, I already have the spirit. Let me pull him up right quick. I already have the spirit enemy here. We had talked previously about him having like dropping his skull kind of thing and then disappearing as shadow. We could rework something to where it stays in shade. Maybe. Kind of like hops and attacks and moves. What are we talking about? What about a hopping enemy? Oh, I had one. There's and it is so far behind that it's probably useless right now, and it probably doesn't have a. There's a hop and pop that did that. It's supposed to be a hopping enemy, but it is older than the devlogs, I think. So I don't know what's happening with that. Looks like a monster dance party. We've been working on a lot of monsters, like on this stream and Discord and stuff like that. So there's a lot of there's a lot more monsters than people think. Let me just pull up. Axe and stump. We're going to use this stump right here. We're going to make an axe. I have some exterior stuff we did before. This one. So we're going to take this axe and use. I think we need. We talked before about Lafo using a battle axe for his. No, I kind of need that for his wood chopping axe. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do in that regard. Why are you? Hey, Sprite. It is very annoying sometimes. Okay. So yeah, we might get. And let me pull up Lafo as well because we kind of need him for a reference. The idea of him using a battle axe is hilarious. Okay. Let me just get rid of all that. Okay. So I love the idea of him using a battle axe like this for chopping trees. That axe, it looks good. It looks good. The size of it looks great. So now let's just get rid of this, and we'll put that axe here. Now, as far as the reusing code earlier, I have the enemies in such a way that I can prototype them pretty quickly. So it's not a big issue. It depends on how the complex the enemy is. But like the movement and stuff and all that is pretty. It just takes a few lines of code to implement this stuff when it works properly. So I would like to just do unique enemies when possible. Like the enemies that we did previously, like we did the tiny golem and the assassin mushroom. I did those like an hour, couple hours right before the stream. It was no issue. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay. So I think we're gonna do that, and just a bit of wood here to make it look like it's in there. Probably tilt it a bit. Maybe. I'm gonna make a copy of it in that case. Okay. So that we can No. I think last time I tried this, it looked like poop because tilting in pixel art's tricky. I don't feel like spending all day on it. Probably do an outline or something there. Your system for enemy AI is so comprehensive and unique. Have you considered eventually releasing this project as a game engine akin to RPG Maker? I have no interest in making an engine. I'm in development to make games, and I have zero interest in making an engine. The handle should be pointing up if it's stuck in there and angled. That's actually a good point. I was doing the entirely wrong way. Don't know that we'll angle it right now, though. That might be something I do. I might do another variant of this off screen because. All right now. Because me and angled pixel art not friends, but that looks a lot better. No. Okay, we can probably hide some of this in the tree, so like something like that. I think the axe is too big. That's sort of the joke. And Zlafo uses a giant axe because this is why we have him here, and like that's the point. Yeah, you helped. You did. Yeah. Because he's a bit of a almost dwarf-like Lord of the Rings style dwarf, and he's not in that's not lore-wise, but he kind of reminds me of a dwarf. And so I think just the idea of him using a comically large battle axe for his lumberjack axe. It's just, I don't know. I think it's amusing. Okay. Now, a lot of this we don't have to do completely. We don't have to make this perfect. This is something I can polish up later. So long as we get the idea across, we should be good. Nightbot, what is this? Nightbot do spam sometimes. It's probably talking about the Discord promotion. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Accidental shadow, because that's pretty weird and without a shadow. The outlet. Well, there's a bit of a shadow here. If that's what you mean. I don't know that we want it, because that's a I try to avoid unnecessary detail, though, and I think we can get across maybe at least a darker tone. I don't think it's necessary, though. And the shadow of the stump on the floor, but no one But no, oh, gotcha. That shadow. Yeah, that was we should fix. I get what you're saying. Something like that. And then we probably want to darken this area up a bit more. Since cave is mushroom based, there should be a mushroom crystal that is red with white spots and does something with poison or spores. Like a mushroom. I don't see why there has to be a mushroom crystal. The stream just got 50 likes while I was going for 15 minutes, so thank you. I'm surprised, to be honest. This one's a bit slower. It's a bit of a slow start trying to get the decorative stuff. It ain't characters, that's for sure, but I need some decorations badly. I'm doing world building and stuff off stream, and so I need to get some nice decoratives to make the thing look pretty. You need to darken the top of the stump. We can try it. I don't see needing to, like, unless we can try that. Something like that, perhaps. Looks odd to me because the sun would be. Usually I draw the sun like that way. Yeah. We can always take it away later. I think that's good enough to get the idea across. We can move on. I'll touch this up in the stream or something on the Discord. Alright, what else we got? Since they're a cave, maybe add a bat so we can use torch bats, fly away, and like in movies, that would be nice. When we did the caves, where was that out? We drew some little bat silhouettes on the tops of the mushrooms. We haven't implemented the actual bats themselves, but that's something we could do. Yeah. I haven't seen the caves yet. Well, that's not what the caves are, but like sort of our mock-up of what we've been working in. It's got some, just some concept stuff. But yeah, I haven't been showing a lot of the cave stuff. It's mostly secret. Are you open to receiving community-made art assets? Not for use in the game. I'm wanting to do everything currently. But like, if you want to share your assets, like to show, then we have a Discord channel for posting art and stuff like that, and that people use. Extra rocks, we do need extra rocks. Well, no, I have plenty of rocks right now. So if we go up here, I've got a few. I have enough rocks to be satisfied with for the demo. So, I mean, there's a random one, so like, not some of those are shopping up more than once, but you get the idea. There's enough to have variation, I think. Crazy alien, just begging for rocks. Top of the tree looks like a face. One of the trees, I think it's in the devlog. One of the devlogs are used, or a few of them. The tree looks like a bunny. I think we made jokes about it, and I was gonna have like a bunny sage pop out of a tree or something, but no. That tree is gone. Switched for the tree that I stole from an old game. I just noticed that highlighting is weird. I have to look into that. I don't know why that's that way. Okay. So what do we got now? The top of your head is very shiny. Like, if you're trying to offend me about the bald head thing, love being bald, dude. Making bald jokes is the lamest thing you can ever do, to be honest. Whenever someone makes a bald joke, I go, oh, poor guy. He thinks it's funny. But no. Natural water features? Yes, that's something we need. That's actually a really good idea. We can do some of that. For one, I don't want to do it now. I'm going to do that on Discord. I want to touch up the water that I have been using. Because I have here, I have two types of water that I want to use. I want to use more of a cliff-based water. I don't know how I want to connect them. I like this for like obstacle water, and I want to have this for water that you can walk across. I don't like how this looks. This is like from the old devlog. But yes, let's do some water decorations. It's recommending specular shatter that outside the negativity of those messing with his hair. Let's see. A sprite for pixel art. Wait, what is it? Yeah. I'm using Godot to write the game in. A sprite for the art. That is correct. So for this, I think we can just pop that there. Let's draw a bit of water. I'm gonna get rid of these guys. Town entrance structure, gate with an awning. That's also a good idea. You need to do town decorations. I'll do water decorations later. Water decorations are not interesting. Sorry for getting the hopes up. I'll do water decorations later on. And I can on a Discord stream or something. Because that would that's not very interesting. But I do want to get that ready really soon. Some water polish too. If y'all have some ideas for what we could decorate with the water, that might be interesting. Might be interesting enough to do actually. Let's take a quick second to look at that. So, I'm going to add a bit of this. We're not going to use much of this because, like I said, I'm going to change this texture because I really, really, really don't like it. But yeah, there's that. We're going to take a quick little screenshot. Water needs ducks. We do need some ducks. Ducks would be nice. Your art looks awesome. Well, thank you. I'm going to place that there. And then oh, that looks terrible. Why did that not work? Is it 52? Usually I do these in the game, like when I'm playing the game, and it's usually a 33 by 33, but I guess, or is my screenshot weird? Oh, or is, I don't know. Let's try 50. Okay, so yeah, it was even more than that apparently. Do another 50. Okay, so water decorations. Did you make your map level procedure? It's manual map building. I mentioned this I think in the first devlog. I'm building the world, like the entire world. I want to tell a story, and so yeah. Game is still a development. Other platforms of the game are not currently a focus. Is correct. Seaweed or coral. Now with the water, I want to keep the sort of opaque blueness to it. I really like that look. I don't know that I want to add stuff from under the water, but I'm thinking like maybe a lily pad. New layer. Now this will be my first attempt at drawing lily pads. I should probably, or even water decorations in general. This is the absolute first for me. So I'm excited to see how bad I mess it up. I should probably get some, you could add white highlights, like sun reflecting on the water. Yeah, we're going to do I had a color for it. I don't know if I still have it or not though. These might be a little too much. I have to make one for it. But I kind of want to have some like on the shade there. Very bright. I'm going to make a new color for it. Nothing too bright. I don't want it to stand out. I just want it to look good, decent. Not you. I think that's good. Okay. Do you foresee your game having a lot of replay value? Probably. Like, the way that I'm designing it, the game that I want to build, I don't think I've done a really good job of getting the idea across. It's very sim-like in nature. Like, how you can play Skyrim, like a bunch of different ways. And, like, imagine, like if, I don't know. It's about living in the world and playing it different ways. Like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain what I want to do. What inspired me to like to take it up is I didn't have a game that I could just live in. Like I could play and frolic around doing nothing in particular. Now, granted, I want to have stuff to do, but like that's what I want. Oh, right. I need to look for lily pad references. Starter Scrolls. That it's one of the ways that I tend to describe the game is I say if Stardew Valley's NPCs found themselves in Morrowind, like that's how I try to explain it. I wouldn't say Stardew Valley gameplay wise because like it's a lot about farming and fishing and stuff like that. And like those activities might be in the game, but the game's not necessarily about that. It's more about interacting with the characters, exploration. More like if Link to the Past was an Elder Scrolls game with some of Stardew Valley's influence. Just some. Like I don't. As nice as Stardew Valley is, it's a little too bland for my taste. But I do think some of it's really nice. Leaves falling in the water slowly. Now I did make a leaf particle system. It wouldn't take water into account, but that would be an interesting thing to look at. That I don't know that I would have time to look at that. Look like that. Look into implementing that. Okay, so lily pad. I'll pull up a reference so y'all can see what I'm using. You know, that might be my issue with stumps, is I don't use references enough. Because you can see, like, when I went to drawing a lily pad, I was like, let's pull up a reference. I don't think I've ever done that with a tree. That might be my issue. So there's that. These the lily pads usually stack up pretty heavily like this. I don't want it to be noisy. I like these ones with flowers, and I don't know anything about lily pads, by the way. I don't think he's looking for enemies at the moment. Yeah, I'm not really. If you want to suggest enemies, that you can do so in the Discord. We have a suggestions channel, but right now I have the enemies that I want for the demo, so I'm not really considering any currently. Except for maybe a mini boss. I do need to do it. Well, I don't need to do any mini boss. Demo might not have one because like it has enough combat in it, I think, to be good, and maybe I can hint at a boss. But demo may not have an actual boss itself. So from what I'm seeing from these lily pads, they're very noisy. There's a lot of lily pads in a single area. I don't know if that's artistic reasons or if that's just how lily pads are. If so, lily pads are kind of douchebags. Nah, pardon, I shouldn't say that. Oh, let's see. They just take up all the space, though. Oh, what is this guy? I don't know what that's called. Like a crane. We could draw some animals in the water. Now this is what I was trying to attempt. This was based off of, I think of what is like. That looks weird. I don't know that I like that. But that was sort of what I was trying to achieve there. Are they all like that? All lily pads I've seen cluster up a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Because I really don't want this to be noisy. They tend to be, like, I think I got too big on them. Maybe I need to pull in a player reference. So let me grab the player right quick. Oops. Oh, come on now. Okay. Great. I lost my color. I wouldn't I was thinking of using that. So I don't want it to be too big, right? If we do that, we could probably do something like that. Could you make a small group of 2 or 3 to suggest that? Yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I plan on having little clumps of them, like I did with the flowers, which I think looks really cool. I took some of the flowers that I had already drawn and just clumped them up together. I'll probably do the same thing here. Let's see. I'm thinking probably a darker color than the grass. Oof, no. Okay. Maybe not. Let's see. Duckweed. I don't know what duckweed is. We'll take a look in a little bit if I remember. Should probably look at flower decor in general. Now with these, I probably want to place these on a grid. So I need to make sure that it fits inside that. Because I have a mini tile set that I use for placing like the grass and stuff. Do you have a development studio now? Just me doing things. Forbidden corn dogs. I think I know that's what I was thinking it was. 24 by 24 is hard to make a detail, so it's cool to watch. What are you working, like 32 by 32? I found 32 by 32 to be too much, way too much. 16 by 16 was too small. 24 by, I have loved working in 24 by 24 to be honest. Like probably the best decision I made. Don't want to be too. Best decision I made was to switch to that format. Not too bad. I really don't like the color, but I'll faff about with the color later. Maybe give the lily pads a border to make them more pop a little more. We could try that. Let's try this. Oof. Get out of here. There we go. Let's see. Maybe we will add a bit to it here. No. Maybe more this way. I really don't like these colors. These colors are placeholder, probably. I could try to tweak it now, but I don't want to spend too long on that kind of thing. I don't know that I have any better colors right now. Okay. Boop. Now where are you? There. What are you doing? I don't know, man. Today's Sprite's wanting to be a pain today. Jeez. Maybe some cattails. Probably some cattails. Oh. Looks better to you or looks better to you? Let's see. A bit darker, perhaps. Well, let's see. I mean, why are you doing those? Refer to only active layer. Like, I don't know what is going on with that. That is weird. Oh, wait. I accidentally turned that on. Okay. That makes sense. Jeez. What about a little bitty tiny little highlight? Tiny, just the smallest highlight. A dark border works great, yeah. I like it stands out a lot. Maybe we'll try a little bit darker because I don't like the way the colors look. They look a little, they don't mesh with the color really well, like the watercolor. I don't know that I want to go too dark with the highlight, but I do want to contrast it a bit more than it is. What about that? No. Secret of Mana also had some of those nice times. I was more of a Legend of Mana person myself. I haven't played much of Secret of Mana. So join the Discord. What are we talking about joining the Discord for? I've done 1x1 for a gem. Well, like a 1x1 pixel, like a art piece. That's sounds crazy. Do you use a tablet or your mouse? I've been using a mouse for 2 months now, and I'm considering getting a tablet. Is it worth it? It is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Best thing I've ever done. I wouldn't be here doing art right now if I didn't have a tablet. Now, that's not to say that you need a tablet. That we have. I've known some people that do some tablet stuff, excuse me, mouse stuff without a tablet. I don't see how, and some of them are very impressive. Like Truck, he can do some really impressive mouse work. I don't know how. I'm on the fence about the color. Will there be a swamp-like area? I haven't gotten that far yet. I am not even considering it right now. I want to be sort of unique with the areas. Like, it doesn't have to be like the most thing, like you never heard of it before. But I don't want to do generic areas. Or at least I want to do some kind of twist on it. I'm still making programmer art, so yeah. Normally I wouldn't have art at this point. I'm very programmer focused. I like doing the programming, but I'm doing the art for when it's good for like this kind of things. We're doing these streams and getting to know y'all and everything else like that. But me, if it wasn't for these devlogs, I'd still probably be doing programmer art. Try adding a little shed. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Thank you for that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, we should probably do some here. Let's do here. I mean, I would like to, but it's like right in the way. Something like that. Tiny little outlaw shadows is weird though. It's hard to do. Now this will be good for How did the little golem turn out last week? He's alright. I need to keep working on it. I haven't animated any of that stuff yet though. But if I go here, like this will be good for these kind of areas. Like I'm not expecting this to be a very naturey area because this is Selena's house, her little hut up here, and so this will be some good for that kind of thing. What we're doing here. Is there a day-night cycle? Not currently. There may not be for the demo. It depends on if I get the lighting going. And there's very scripted, like like you could start the game at the day and then like at the end of the demo it'll be night. Possibility, probably, like to demonstrate that. But the time set won't be active. It'll be locked onto that. I would like for there to be a like a proper day-night cycle, because I absolutely love day-night cycles in games. But at the same time, it does make it like it harder to limit the time, like I said, because I can tell, like I can be like, when you exit this cave, it's nighttime. You know, I can't do that if you don't have that flexibility. That's what I'm trying to say in a weird way. So I like the flexibility of being able to set the time. I just don't know how I want to go about it yet. The water shadow is dope. Well, thank you. It's on the lily pads. Still working on it. I'm just experimenting, seeing what looks good. I like this one. I think it makes a big difference. Not that one particularly. Maybe something like that. Now I want the shadow to sort of go up that way, but it looked weird when I did it on that one. So we might just go sideways with it. Because like I said, usually I draw my shadows like that way. Because I think it's a nice angle. Do you have a devlog about lighting and day and night? I have one about the lighting system that I'm using, which like I made my own lighting shader that it's still work in progress right now. I'm trying to get it to blend colors for the caves, because in the caves these mushrooms are supposed to be glowing, and so I would like for them to project like their own colors and stuff. It's been tricky with the shader. Colors, man, they're difficult to work with. I could use Godot's lighting system, but it's always been very performance unfriendly for me. Like it chews up so much performance every time I've used it, and it doesn't have the flexibility that I want. Like in mine, I can specify the shape and the way the light behaves, and the flickering is easier to do and all that stuff. You found a great color blending code in Krita's documentation. That's good. I'm gonna take a note to look at that. My issue is that I'm trying to combine multiple colors. Like say I've got this orange light. Like say from the player, and then maybe an orange light from a torch, and I want them to overlap. That's easy. That's no problem. I can do that really easily. The trouble becomes, like, say if I want to throw in this blue light, all of a sudden, like, I've got to have that undervalue be the same as just blending in, because I want them to merge. I want them to be seamlessly merged together. But then I want to throw in the blue light on top of that. And the trouble is here is like this light here is blending with this light with one of these, and it's blending with one of these, and it needs to blend with both of these and still be the same color as these. It's very tricky, and I don't know how to do it. Speaking about performance, even though the game doesn't look very demanding, do you have any clue what the games with the specs of the run? I haven't done any of that. I need to look at it. So, no idea. Just use the white circle gradient and let no opacity, size, and modulation. What tutorial do you guys suggest for a 2-brain cell procrastinator? I highly suggest heart-based tutorials. I don't know about the procrastinator brain cell bit, but he has fantastic tutorials. And Kids Can Code is the one that I learned from. Very information-dense tutorials, so you'll learn a lot, which is really good. Heartbeast is really good for beginners. I highly recommend him for people starting out in development, because he'll walk you through it very gently. And you're colorblind. That's something that I need to look into, like color-wise, because I'm not, and these colors look good to me, but I don't know how they look to someone that would be colorblind. And that's something I'm wanting to look into. Maybe I've considered shader possibilities to sort of change colors around. What other? Let's see. Let's take these flowers here and use their colors maybe to throw down up here. Oops. Oh, extract. There. A layer style soft light opacity. Does that blend colors together? Like, I'll have to look. Cause I need the colors to blend together in such a way that like it's consistent no matter the order, no matter like. It's just a very unique way of blending that I'm trying to achieve. I think, well, not unique, unique to me. Like I don't know, like I haven't been able to find any information on it. It's been very tricky. The idea here, there's a flower here. I want to try. I like nowhere near close to it, but oops. Lily flower, yeah. Trying to do a lily flower. That was a terrible attempt. Let's see. It's gonna be tricky. Switch so few pixels. Look, working tiny pixels is not my forte, like at all. I kind of want to, I don't know. I need to look into, like, if lilies have some sort of... It'd be nice if we could connect them into something interesting in the world. I don't know. Weird thought that I just had. I'm gonna grab that. Use the other flowers. Well, they don't look like lilies though. No, that's a terrible red for that. Suppose we could though. Oh, reusing stuff feels nice, but it doesn't look like lilies, so I'm not happy. But it's probably it'll serve the purpose. People should see it. Be like, okay, I get what's going on here. Maybe we'll see. I'm also going to have someone floating on a pad. Probably have some of that in general. Cause I would imagine they need the thingy. I need to look how lily pads go. I don't like drawing something about it when I don't understand. Come on now. When I don't understand how it works. The blend mode would need to be calculated in the game. No. Yeah, I mean, so long as I can get the formula for it, shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Alright, let's grab this. A lily pad with googly eyes? Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense. An attempt was made. The flower on the lily looks gorgeous. Well, thank you. Oh yeah, shadow. Because you can't just take a picture of an object and just spread it around a mesh until you have an HD texture. Googly eyes make everything look hilarious. Well, yeah. Random's not funny. It's my usually saying whenever I... Maybe put pink in the middle of the lily. Could do that. We have a pink. It's a very saturated pink, though. That works. Oh, getting there. I say we lower that desaturation. Probably have to add a new pink. Lower that desaturation some. About the middle of the road. There, somewhere. It looks a little blocky. Alright. What game engine do you use? I'm new here. I use Godot engine. And here we'll add a happy little flower. Looks like an old wise grandpa. We should do a frog. Someone go tell Funkclink. I still haven't drawn a frog yet. Let's see. We might do a frog here in a little bit. Lotus flowers have petals and are usually smaller than the lily pad. It grows separate from the lily pad, not on top of it. Okay. Good. See, that's why I don't like drawing things I don't understand. Because that would have been silly. So we're going to put that. We'll probably have to... We're going to keep it on a separate sprite for now so we can easily combine it. Probably bring this down one. One more there. Okay. Oh, good enough. You saved him with a simple science. There you go. I mean, I was going to look later. I was going to just study him, so. It is if you compile it yourself. What, yeah. You should include a dragonfly on the insects you are going to draw if petals are going to be a thing. Oh, yes, absolutely. Dragonflies. I'm going to make a list for that. I don't want to do that right now. Not make a list, but make a dragonfly. But I do kind of want to sketch out a frog. No, not right now. Yeah, we'll do a frog. Just so Funkclink will have something to look back on one day. Be like, I inspired that frog. What kind of frog do we want? How big do we want this frog to be? Make Teddy reference in the game? Why would... He's in the game. What do you mean, make a Teddy reference? Here comes the dragonfly again. Alright, so frog. How do I want to do this? Let me get a frog reference. Because I don't know how I want this to look. So, frog. I'm sensing a new emoji coming with this. If we do it right, we might just have a new emoji. Oh man, now you want to make me do a funny looking frog. I would say the frog as big as the lily pad. We can do it. Okay, let's see. This just sounds good. Alright. Frog. Because they jump on lily pads. Yeah. What do we want this frog to be? Does it have any function in the game? Or is it just an ambient creature? Giant frog. Yeah. I'm thinking we'll probably do a couple. Maybe one giant frog and a bunch of little tiny frogs. Why? I feel like there's a reason there, and I don't know what it is yet. Like a frog cult. Oh man, we absolutely have to do it like a magic frog. A frog sitting on a lily pad. He'll probably be sitting on a lily pad. Giant lily pads. We'll probably have some giant ones too. They might be actual objects because, as you can see, I'm keeping them to a grid here because, oops, I have a 12 by 12 grid in the game that I use for this kind of thing. Frog King. I'm thinking he's the leader of something. A rainbow frog. No. I'm thinking he's more, I don't know. Oh, this is cute. Hold on. I think I want to do something like like that for the little frogs. Oh, this is not a reference, but this is funny looking. He's like he's telling you to get bent. Oh, look at this cute little guy. Secret area with a massive wise toad incoming. We might do something. Oh, is it not going to let me get it? Oh, it's a GIF. And I can't open it. Pinterest has been doing some really weird stuff lately. What is going on here? Oh, look at this. Okay, I like this. Tell me that guy's he's not a magic frog. Like a wise old magic frog. Frog called Dilsey. You could, depending on the environment. As the sport makes sense, right? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I meant that magic frog should be a rainbow, like you lick it and get. No, we're not doing any frog licking thing. Frogs cannot be cute. It is a fact of science. This is correct. Oh no, he's pretty cute. Jelly frogs. Is that a specific type of frog? Let me look what they said. Amphibians are yucky. Amphibians ain't so bad. I actually used to have a stuffed frog. Will frogs be enemies? Depends on what we design. Because it's looking interesting. Like, I'm thinking a big king frog with a cult. Like a cult of frogs. Maybe. Let's see. Frogs are the leader of tadpole armies. we have to work in tadpoles. Oh, man. Just a little... that's going to be hard to do. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Oh, man. I don't know that we can do tadpoles. I unstuffed a frog in high school for... Oh, no. That's sad. I hate that that's the thing. I never had to do that, thankfully. Yeah, that's depressing. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at... oh, that's... never mind. That's a statue. I was about to say, this is really cool, and then it looks like a statue, I'm pretty sure. I feel like that's probably a statue. Probably. Okay, let's see. I'm going to search up Frog King. He is literally Teddy. He thought of hurting a cute animal once, but like, no. Oh, no. Oh, look at this guy. That's interesting. Now, I don't want to do this. Like the very cliche Frog King. I don't want to do that. I want it to be a bit mysterious. I don't want him to look immediately like a king. He may not even be a king, but I want him to be a leader for sure. We could have frog factions. The frogs are at war with each other. Toads versus frogs. Frogs are very peaceful, but toads attack the player. I will take a note for it. If nothing else, like, oh, that's very interesting. Frogs versus toads. Faction wars. Toads attack player. I don't know how to differentiate toads from frogs. design-wise. We'll have to see. Frog pet. Depends on where we go with frogs. Like, for example, squirrels have their own little thing. And it wouldn't make sense for squirrels to be a pet because of their whole story. So, it depends on where we go with frogs. So, let's do that first, and then we'll consider a frog pet. Make a king have a cultist mask and a hood. I think I'm leaning more towards cultist. I also don't want that to be too on the nose. And with a mask, it would be tricky because, keep in mind, your player has to recognize it as a frog. The king, let's see, how about you're giving the choice of join whatever faction you want to join? That way you give the player more options. If they want to join the frogs or toads. I was thinking it would be more subtle. But that's something we could play around with for sure. But I don't know. I like the idea of toads being evil and frogs not. I think that's something cool that we could play in for story-wise. And if we allow you to sympathize with the toads, it would be difficult to sell that. Cultist frog sounds amazing, though. I think it's a really cool idea. I'm drawing a blank for visually how this should look, though. And I'm not getting anything. What if I search? We'll just go on the nose with it. Let's say frog cult. See what we get. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh, what is that? What is this? I don't know. That looks like a pet if I've ever seen one. Like in the game. Oh no. You get some weird frog photos, man. Bullfrog pun? Let's see. Let's see. Toads are allies with the necromancer and a packet of packs with them. Depends on the story we come up with. There has to be a reason why that would happen. Well, okay, we'll tell you what. People are weird on the internet. Let's say frog mage. Okay, we're getting there. This looks interesting. Not a cult leader, but we're getting there. It's getting closer. This is cool for a full-sized NPC. That's a really cool idea. This guy, a little closer to what I want, but he's more shamanish. I'm thinking more of a cloaked character. Oh, this is interesting. We're getting there. And he seems like more of an adventurer. I think we're going to lean more towards that. Maybe make him chunkier. Not so silly of a hat. Okay. I think that's a good starting point. The frog could speak or interact. We'll see what story we have with the frogs first. But possibly, yes. Frog flies are frog food. Yeah. I mean, they do eat frog. They do eat flies, yeah. Let's see. Make a Mario reference and more of the factions have a plumber ally? No, that's too random. Frog tradesman. We already have. Actually, this would be really good for the cave stuff, because we already have the snail tradesmen, the snail people. But the frog would fit in really well here. So we're not making him tradesman, and he's more of this is a unique character. There might be more frogs, but I think it would be cool to have him as a unique character. I'm going to silhouette. We just left the whole town decoration thing behind, by the way. Let's see. I'm thinking he's probably about half the size of the player. Maybe. The frog leader should wear a shirt or something so he stands out. All of the would be naked, so naturally the frog leader would look important while still being subtle. He's going to be pretty big. I'm thinking for the tiny frogs, they're probably just going to be a few pixels. Like the other ambient creatures that we've done before. Now, with them, I want them to give them big, massive eyes. 2 by 2 pixels, probably. Something like that. Oh, Ludo's just gonna love this. Something like that. More froggish, but you get the idea. Tiny pixel art's difficult. Man, that just looks nothing like a frog though. We'll play with that later. That's not what I want to do right now. The entire warring toad frog tribe takes place on a tiny pond. That would be well, for one, I mean, it wouldn't make too much sense since, like, you know, they'd be very expensive. Like, I don't know. I like the idea of having a be very expensive, but it is interesting to have like the war of this pond, like an entire battle on this pond. That would be interesting. Let's see here. Let's get some interesting art going. So what does he have? I'm thinking maybe a hat. Maybe. He's a magical frog, probably. Give him a good floppy, like, yeah. How about you can harvest materials from the frogs by defeating them, but you get no protection from the toads. But then you get no protection from the nodes. Oh, let's see. Well, that goes into the siding with one or the other, and I think it would have a bigger impact if you can't really pick a side. If you can't, like, we want to make toads out to be just evil forces of nature. I like that idea better than giving you the chance to prefer one or the other. Could the frog be the fortune teller's pet? Now, about that fortune teller's pet, when I was doing the story and stuff, I found it very, very difficult to tell the story with him being a fortune teller. So he's probably not a fortune teller, unfortunately. I found it very, very difficult to pull the story off. Sort of like how writing about time travel is difficult. So he's probably not going to be a thing, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. But I expected it would be difficult, though. I mean, it's not completely out, but, like, I'm almost certain it's not. You could add bushes and have leaves. Because, I mean, the trick I found is, like, why didn't he stop what's going to happen? That kind of thing. He looks more like a dog. I want him to look... What about I'm going to get a frog sitting. Do I have any of those pulled up? Okay, so they sit very foot forward. Are their arms back a bit? Their arms are more splayed out. That's tricky. Turn him into a secret NPC with a secret quest that later reveals him as a prince. No, I don't want to do the prince as a frog thing. No, the frog is a prince thing. A frog dungeon? We could do... we could do it. It would be more of a toad dungeon, I reckon. You know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to pull up frog pixel art to get an idea of how other people have simplified the shapes and stuff, especially with the smaller ones. I really like what this person did. Oh, come on. How they figured the eye thing out. The frog could trade some loot, but you could win and lose something big. Hmm. Do all your small art in 8x8. Well, the grid I have open out now is 12x12. Should I make it bigger than that? I didn't even get a reference to the player. It could be a little bit bigger. This guy. I can't. Let me see what other people are doing shape wise. Because I'm drawing a blank with how to do these frogs. I'm not seeing much else otherwise either. Unfortunately. Now I want him to be really small. Like, if y'all remember, what was it? No, it's the forest mock-up. Real quick. And like this, I kind of wanted to be like these little critters that we did in a previous stream. So I want to keep it very small and simple. Or kill enough toads, frogs, and their corresponding faction later will invite you the opportunity to set. Again, that goes into the side picking thing. I'm not as. I mean, it's an option that we can do, but I really like the idea of like toads being evil. And really like that idea. Was that a Star-Nose? Star-Nose Mole looked like a Cthulhu. That is exactly what that was. Yes, that is our Cthulhu mole. That's going to be fun. Let's see. What if we get rid of that? We're really happy with that. We did that one on the stream. That was a lot of fun. Man, it's going to be difficult. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Ah, well. Back to this guy. We'll keep coming to that periodically when we figure it out. Because I don't know how I want to do it. This. Okay. So with this guy, I get where we're going here. Oops. The silhouette doesn't look that good. I can see it. I can picture it. But the silhouettes, I don't know. The evil Toad King once upon a time stole the dragonfly from the Frog Queen was about to eat. It's not very interesting. I'm sorry. We need something else. Something more epic. Because if we're going to go with a Frog and Toad faction, it needs to be of epic proportion. Like a secret battle that happens in the ground that nobody knows about. But just like affected the overall course of history. But nobody knows this is going on in the background. Do you have any more magic spell ideas? I have some. Let me check my list. I haven't looked at them in a really long time. I don't even know where that card would be. I made a list of a whole bunch of spells that I want to do eventually. But for the demo, I don't have to do a whole lot. Just enough to get the idea that there are there. So yeah, I have a freeze ray, teleport. Now these are all just ideas. They're not guaranteed to be in the game. Freeze ray, teleportation, like a sort of like a dash thing, but does some AOE damage on a content when it finishes. I think that would be cool, like a smoke, like a dark magic kind of thing. Mark and recall. It's very difficult for design, but I think it would be really cool. I really like that in the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, but I can understand why it was taken out later on. Lightning, which we had, but I want to redo. Conjure Storm, which would maybe affect the world's weather. I don't have anything weather-wise implemented. Swap position with the target. That sounds a little janky, but we'll see. Healing, Lifesteal, and a Decoy. I thought I had more interesting ones. It's probably in another card summers. Let's see. Secret entrance to a pond where the Frog King and Toad Queen look over a battle that has been going on for centuries. We need some kind of betrayal thing. Like, maybe some toad or frog defected to the other side. Oh, man. Let me see. I think I'm going to work at this shape a bit more. He doesn't look very frog-like. My issue with him. You know what I should do? I think I have this issue a lot. Let's draw the frog first. And then we'll draw the hat. So with the frog, I'm going to take up about that area. Have octopi dimension. What about debuffs that could be cured by making medicines out of herbs? Now, for healing and stuff, I'm thinking of going with a food system. So it'd be more foods than herbs. Like, instead of healing potions, probably like eat a food item. That's because I'm wanting to do like a cooking system, to where like instead of not like a cooking, but like that would be the potion brewing system. Oh, why is this guy so hard? It's getting there. I can kind of see what's happening here. Now I want the head to be a little more pronounced. I don't want it to be too sloped. I want you to be able to see the head in this silhouette. Maybe a little more back to him. That looks more like a dog. More round down here. And then bring this up a bit. Bubble spell that blows your enemies away while doing... horses are cats. Random's not funny. Let's see. The frogs are agreed with the toads to keep a magic pond neutral ground, but the toads want infinite power and try to invade the magic pond. Now the ward's broken out so the toads don't get all the power. That's interesting. Like maybe the frogs and toads were once allied with each other and the toads got greedy. It doesn't sell the evilness that I want to get across. I want the toads to be just the bane of all evil. Not bane of all evil, but like very, very evil. But that's a good start. I like the idea of toads once being allied with the frogs. Man, tricky. I think maybe I don't have his back sloped enough, and maybe the leg's not out far enough. Oh man, this is terrible. They imprisoned the frogs. Oof, that got dark. This guy looks more like a toad. I was trying to draw a frog. Okay, that might be it. I still want the head to be a little more noticeable. Yeah, he's looking toad-like at the moment. Yeah, very toad-like. That's fine. We might be doing a toad. Maybe you meet the toad first. We'd have to make him look like, if we're going to start with the toad, we want to make sure that the player gets the idea that he's not a nice character. So how would we get that across? Bubble spell that blows your enemy away while doing mild damage. I would want that to be different from a typical damage spell. Like, with a lot of the concepts in the game, I want things to stand out on their own and be unique. So, like with the enemies, I have a unique enemy design. I want to do the same thing with spells. I don't want to have a spell that just does damage. If that's the case, then just use the damage spell. Like, we have one damage spell, and that would be it. So I would like for the bubbles to do a more unique thing than just damage and knockback. A bubble spell would be interesting. I would like to play with that. But I would want the bubbles to do something interesting. But that's more of a Discord type discussion. An evil religion... You've got them all, don't you? An evil religious toad cult takes over the toad government and manages to convince all the toads that they must purge the world of all the living creatures, and only the frogs can stop them. Then we need a reason for why they want to purge. I want to give them a reason for what they're doing. Maybe if you think about origami from Triangulate, it could help you simplify the shape. That's an interesting idea, learning origami to do that. I don't know anything about origami, but that's an interesting idea. Frog spy. Well, if he's a spy, I don't want him to be the first character that you encounter, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that silhouette. I'm happy with the silhouette. I think it's fine. But yeah, if he's the first thing you encounter, it'd be tricky. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but then you have to think like that would give the player a chance to sympathize with the toads again. And so I think it would be stronger if we could start with the frogs, and so the frog would be like, yeah, toads are the worst. It sort of poison the well a bit. I don't know. I think the impact would be greater if we start with a frog. Frogs don't just catch warts from the toads. That's the difference between a frog and a toad. A toad is a frog that touched the toad and got warts. Oh man, so toads are kind of like zombies, and then if they touch you, you become a toad. Oh man, that's silly enough to be funny. Touch toads because no, it doesn't happen, but they think it does. Because their greatest fear is that they don't want to be peed on by the toads. Because they don't want to get warts and become toads. Oh man, that's good. Because frogs don't want to touch toads because they don't want to be peed on and become toads. Oh man. Oh, the toad cult is just crazy and believes that their god will let them live forever. The player can hunt down the cultists and restore sanity to the toad government. That is an interesting thing to look into. I'll make a note of that. Play hunt down toads to restore order. Again, that goes with the sympathizing thing, but we'll see. Oh, glad I managed to make you laugh with that. Yeah, that was great. Oh man, toads are zombies, so what's the point? Toads are zombies. Like it's deep. It's deep. Toads are zombies because of the whole myth about toads peeing on you, but giving you warts, and I think that's just brilliant. Okay, I'm happy with that silhouette. I think. What do y'all think? Yes, he could have a wart hidden on his head. Oh man. Frog has a wart under his hat because he's a spy. That's great. Oh man. Ah, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. All right. So what color do we give him? Let's see. Let me look up toads. Make toads next, and they. Oh. Purple is the magic color. So if we make him purple, he would have to be magic. Is that how the toads attack the player that pee on them? Well, I'm not thinking I'm going to lean into that. I'm thinking I'm going to imply it more than anything. Maybe it's a secret thing. I was late. What's going on? We're talking about toads and frog, toad and frog faction. Frog with a Gandalf beard. Not this one. I don't think. I want it to be clear that he's a frog, and I think any kind of covering features like that would make it harder to tell. We can play around with it after we get the shape going, but for now, probably not. Now a toad with or frog or toad with a beard is a really cool idea. Frog or toad with a beard. What is the most intuitive 2D game engine? It depends on what you want to do. Try them all, see which one you like. Is what I say. Frog disguised as a person. Okay. Now, toads seem to be very brown by the looks of this. Very grayish. Don't have any color like that. I don't have many desaturated browns. I have these, but I don't like these. I want to phase them out. All of my browns are pretty saturated and woodsy looking. I could probably use maybe that one. Maybe that, because we do want to bump up the saturation more than a regular toad, but which I still think we're going to desaturate it a bit. 3 frogs in a trench coat sneak into town and steal resources for the war effort. I don't know that we're going to sneak into town. Maybe they have little missions where they take from the town. So frogs go on missions to recover. Now the greatest best thing about part that is the for the war effort, and I think that phrase is brilliant. So if frogs be like when they talk about the war effort, I think that's very impactful. So I think we're going to lean into that. So recover supplies, or to gather, to take supplies from the town. And then I'm going to put into quotes, for the war effort. Frogs say this often. To sort of emphasize that this is a deeply entrenched effort that they're going through. How did they make town pretty up? Going to a discussion where toads pee on you, because we went from town decorations to lily pads to frogs to frog cults. That's the beautiful thing of working together with a bunch of people like this, is that we can sort of wander about and talk about different topics. Pond War 1 and Pond War 2. I think they're going to name the ponds. They'll have names for each ponds and the battles that are going on during them. Keep calm and keep croaking. a little too more punsy than what I'm looking for, but that's pretty good. Very memeish. And I'm not interested in putting memes in the games. Don't recommend it. Okay, so I'm happy with the silhouette. Let's get started on the colors. How much time do I have? Oof, actually. We're about to hit the 2 hour mark. Let's do some color sketching really quickly. But we may not get too deep into it. I don't know. Probably plot out the colors and stuff. What color should his hat be? Yeah. Also, toads are a type of frog, so they could have superiority complexes, be like a whole different race thing. Oof, no. It's probably a bad idea. What's cat character's name again? Mad Catter. Red and orange, black and brown. Military hat. Well, the thing is, a military hat like a it's the one that I'm thinking of. It's very modern, and while that would be effective, I don't want the game to feel modern. What about instead of that? Let's build this guy up. Maybe more of like a. maybe he stole one of Fluffo's helmets. That was one of the things I stole from the war effort. Maybe. A beret? No, beret is very modern as well. Or very, very modern feeling, at least. I don't know how modern they are, but. Oh. I like this. Oh. Okay, let's go get Luffo right quick. Where did we have him last? There he is. His helmet is a soup bowl. I think we might play around with some ideas, but I want to play around for this right now. I want to. He like this will fit into the whole they steal stuff from the town. So he stole one of Luffo's helmets. In fact, we could probably just copy the entire helmet. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. I want to keep a copy of this. I don't want to go over my last copy. We'll bring Luffo back again. Okay. And then here, we can just take this hat. And put it there. I love the characters. Well, thank you. I'm very happy with the characters. I'm like I have to say, like we've come a long way designing all these characters and stuff. I just imagine a cutscene where he is swallowed by a giant toad. He just wrestles with his tongue. We could do that because what I was thinking of was like maybe Luffo encounters the toad with the hat, and he's like, "That's a very familiar looking hat," and they get into a scuffle about it. The toad Viking. Like he doesn't even know it's a Viking helmet. He has no idea. He just knows that he's seen like they was looting the town and he's seen one, and was like, "That'll be handy." Let's see. Get some a bit of a brighter. Let's go brighter first. Okay. All right. We're just going to steal some colors that we've been using. Just sort of plot out the shapes and stuff. And I'll get into like the actual colors on Discord or something. Fire toads. Well, they'll probably have their own mage. Like, it's going to be an entire faction system. Like, they'll probably have their own mages and stuff. Mad Catter should join this battle. Mad Catter probably doesn't care for their petty squabbles. Let's see, and I think we're going to give all of them just like these massive eyes, probably. Probably give him a big mouth, a big little chin thing. Where will the game be released when it's done? I haven't decided yet. Probably for Steam for sure. I'm almost certain. That's been for a while yet though. How about some huge yellow eyes? Maybe. Everybody else has darker eyes. We could try that though. Yellow, I don't think would have enough contrast. Like maybe highlights. I'm not really a fan of the mud color. Well, that's like I said, color. I'm just stealing the colors from. I'm not worried about colors right now. I'll touch colors up another time. How much will the game cost? $20 is the expected cost for the game. But yeah, colors are temporary right now. I don't know what colors I want to make this guy. I'm more concerned about the shapes. Toad poison the surrounding waters due to their mercury secretion. So when the numbers below up, the town's fishing spots will be in danger. Eyes more on the side so it looks derpy in two directions. A little too derpy that one, but the 1 pixel is more broad, like he don't know what's going on here. Like maybe some, I don't know. I think it works though. I might give his lip a little bit of a shine to it, like not a shine, but like just a tiny little bit of highlight, just to sort of give it depth. Is the target platform just PC? At the very least, it should be PC, Mac, and Linux. I think the front leg needs to come up a bit more. He doesn't look like a frog though. It looks more like a bear. Maybe it's that shadow. And maybe we need to give him a bit more here. It's hard. It's tricky. And do characters have talking animations? I suggest making the frog talk like the Canadians in South Park. Nah, it's too silly. At the moment, they don't have talking animations, and I probably don't have time to worry about that for the demo. Do frogs have arms? This guy has arms. Probably hints at that there. We'll probably give him some like markings too, maybe. Not here, but like just sort of spice it up a bit. That's for another time. Maybe to find the limbs more, perhaps that could make it more obvious. Probably. I'm trying to push pixels around for it, but I'm not sure how I want to do it. I'll probably look at some references later and get a good idea for how frogs and toads hold themselves. Because it does look very simple, the limbs. Maybe his back's hunched up a bit too much. Could be also why it's more bear-like. That's a little better. He still looks like he's got his shoulders up, though. Like he's uncertain. Could also be the eyes. I did say that. It's kind of look like blushies now. Toad has weird back legs. Yeah, it's trying to get it to where he looks like he's sitting down, but he looks almost bear-like, which is interesting because I would like to do a bear, but then we have the pole bear. Because he's more like a teddy bear, not like an actual bear. We do have the one that was into. It kind of also reminds me of the capybara that we drew. Toad dating sim? No. Put a puddle underneath the frogs because they're so slimy they consistently leak slime. We do need a shadow. We might do the puddle thing as well. I'll make a note for it here in just a second. Where's the mouth position? That's it's right here. That's his jaw right there. He's got an underbite. Overbite? I think it's an overbite. But I think that's where I'm gonna call the stream for now. So thank y'all for popping by. And y'all take it easy.